This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's roll. What's going on, kings and queens? I don't know. Gotta do something about that intro. Alright, this is what happened to me. I had what's called a broken extractor, okay? And what that is there's a little gripper thing in the gun. When I fire around, the gripper thing pulls the shell out of the chamber, and that's when you get this this brass thing here. That, you know, that's the empty that comes out, and the extractor grabs that little groove there and pulls it out and ejects it. And then there's another piece that comes in behind it and clips the side of it and it throws it out the port. Like ejects it into the next town over. This thing just blows it everywhere. It's just nuts. Anyway, common during, I was reading old magazines years ago, a lot of people said the most common thing on a 1911, because back then all those guys were running a lot of 1911s, was the broken extractor. And I never had one before. This is the first time I had one. I looked down and I said, oh gosh, it's a piece of metal. That's the extractor. I broke the extractor. I finally passed that rite of passage and broke the extractor. And this gun has been through quite a bit. It's taken a lot of classes with it. I've taken classes through Costa. I've taken classes through Thunder Ranch. I've taken some local classes from the local guy I go to. I've fired thousands and thousands of rounds to this gun. Plus the last couple of years I've been shooting about 100 rounds a week on average. Just I kind of miss a couple weeks here and there, but for the most part I haven't put a lot of bullets to this gun through the lifetime of it. I've had it for about maybe, let's say, I'm going on 4 years now, 5 years. Well, anyway, a lot of rounds. Well, anyway, I'm going to do a quick breakdown and I'm going to do a cleaning. I bought this thing from Amazon. It's a Wilson Combat extractor, Series 80. The Para Commander Elites are based on the Series 80, so it should fit. I'm going to go ahead and put this in. And the reason why I do 1911 isn't, I don't have like this serious passion for the burning passion for the 1911, although it lends itself really well to customization and also lends itself well to artistic embellishments, engraving, things like that. I think a engraved 1911 ages very well. The design is very old in of itself. I like the 1911 because no matter anywhere in the world I go, I'm going to find parts for this gun. Okay, if the United States Army was in that part of the world at any given time, you're going to find a part for this gun. Maybe not the Series 80, but something based on the Series 70. You're going to find something. There's going to be something that's going to fit this gun, I'm willing to bet. That's why I like the 1911. And that's why I like the Glock, because there's whole industries that are in production full time just to make extra Glock goodies. That's why I say Glock and some variant of the 1911. That's why I say I think everybody should own at least one in their collection. It's to where if I had some double action auto or whatnot, yeah, I'll get a part, but it might be a little ways over. I'm going to have to order it, that's for sure. Remember how long it took a local gun shop to repair a Sig Sauer I had, and it just finally I got impatient and showed up and the gun was already done. They hadn't called me. But I'm just saying, we'll say something like this, there's probably going to be a guy here in town that can fix it. I know several guys here in town will work on this and do a good job. That's why I like them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and break it down real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and take out that extractor, show you guys the extractor. I'm going to do a basic cleaning. I'm going to do that off camera. I'm sure there's plenty of videos about basic cleaning. Everybody's got their own thing they do. And I'm just going to get started, okay, guys? So I'll go ahead and open the chamber here. So anyways, inside this chamber here is where the extractor goes, and this thing was just sticking out here. In fact, I wonder if I could even kind of show you what it looked like. See, that's what it looked like right there. See that piece of metal sticking out? It's not supposed to be sticking out. That's exactly what it looked like. Jeez, it is filthy. It's been a while since I changed it. That just came out the front. It's not supposed to do that. That's busted. And here's the back piece here. I could just pull that out the front. I don't know if I greased this thing. I actually greased this thing. Gosh, that's filthy. that gunk. I should get in there and clean this thing out more often. All right. Well, anyways, I'm gonna do a quick breakdown, and we'll get going here. So, take these grips off first. I buy Allen bolts for these things. If I grease that thing, I'm probably not going to grease this new one. I'm just going to probably oil it lightly. I don't know if I'm supposed to oil it or not oil it. You know, hey, you know what? You know, I don't. Someone's going to come on and tell me whatever. You know what? I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And it's just horribly filthy. I shot it, let it set for a while, went ahead, shot it again. It's going to be good to get in there and pull all that out. So I'm going to go ahead and take all this stuff out right now, and then I'll just do an overall cleaning of the gun. This mat's just, of course, getting dirty, which is designed to do that. So for this, what I do is I push this plunger down back here. That's the disconnect. No, that's right. I don't push it down. I push this down, and the plunger holds it. That's right. So there's the firing pin. I push that firing pin down. Okay, well, I push the plunger down. Then I push the firing pin. Then I let off the plunger, and the plunger holds it. That's right. Okay. Then I take this little thing down. Now, they say I should buy one of these, too. These little walls that are here. Is that even going to come out? Is a little rough there? Sure, I probably should be using a drift punch, but they say I should buy these things also. Oop. Yeah, I probably will buy a few of them for my parts box. I have a parts box I keep all this stuff in. So with this piece, put it against my hand like that, touch that plunger. There's the firing pin. Firing pin spring should follow behind it. In fact, I'll use the old extractor to pull the spring out. Is it coming out? Okay, that plunger probably comes out too. It'll probably find its way out of there. And then here's the rest of the extractor right here. In fact, I'll probably use the old extractor to pull the other half of the extractor too. Okay, so there it is. So it busted right here like this. That's it. It busted right there. So they say it's quite common. I don't know who manufactures their extractor. I don't know if it's a Min part or what. I don't know if it's stainless steel. Wilson's got a good reputation though for making parts. They've been doing 45 stuff for years. That's one of those firms that's like I say they just as far as I know they predominantly are 1911s. They do other things too, but they've been working 1911s for years. So I think this is going to be a good part. Probably will last a long time. And here is the new extractor that should go in there. And I think the difference is this round portion here. That's where the plunger goes for the Series 80 part of the gun. The Series 80 has that plunger. I think it's a disconnect. So disconnects the firing pin. Well, anyway, I'm going to get in. I'm going to do a quick cleaning with this thing, solvents, the whole ball of wax, and then I'll do the extractor install. I'm just going to do all that cleaning off camera, though. All right, so I'll catch you in a few. Okay. Okay, so I got the initial cleaning, at least the solvent portion's done. So before I oil it up, I'm going to do the actual reinstallation of the firing pin and the new extractor. Here's the old extractor that's broken. There's the new extractor. I'm just going to oil it this time. I'm not going to grease it all like I did. Now for the slide, I went ahead and I used the 22 caliber guide rod with a brush in the firing pin hole just to kind of clean it out. Dipped a little solvent on the brush. And here I used a little patch with some solvent. Then I used a brush. Got that all cleaned out. Now on this hole, the firing pin hole, I had to use a pair of pliers on the brass portion of the brush to kind of back it out. I'm not constantly cleaning it like it's a bore or nothing like that. Looks pretty clear now. And then when I use guide rods, I use a 22 caliber guide rod. So the one I got for 22 is longer for a rifle. And this is my pistol guide rod that I use. And I use these what they're called what is it? Pro Shot. You see what it says here. It says Pro Shot. I'm gonna clean that label off. But I keep them in the container here. It's the stainless pistol rod by Pro Shot Products. This is what I use. Has a nice aluminum, I think it's aluminum, anodized handle. See, the handle spins. It's all one piece. I used to use those breakup pieces. I just stay away from those now. I use this one single stainless steel piece. The guy who turned me on to these, he was a gunsmith, and took a class, and he was using these on his guns, and I said, I gotta have some. So I bought a 30 cal. No, I think I bought a 28 cal, and I use that 28 on my 30 cal bores, and I bought a 22 to use on my 22 rifle bores, and I bought this for the pistol. I mean, to me, it's worth it. So I just thought I'd show you that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the install. I'm going to do a light oiling with an install on the firing pin. Here's the plunger piece, and I promise you that this was all 100% organized, and I just kept it exactly like this the whole time while I was cleaning, guys. Okay. Oh, and one more thing too. I use a little bit of the brake cleaner, the what is it? Non-chlorinated Lovoc brake cleaner. My CRC can didn't have enough of the pressure in it, but the Berryman works. So I went ahead and used a little solvent, and shot a little brake cleaner in there. Then I'll go ahead and I don't think I'm gonna oil the bores on this. This gun's actually stainless steel. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put a light coat on these when I put them in. I'm gonna go ahead and put a light coat on the parts that go inside of this thing here. So okay, I'm gonna get cracking here. And I'll go ahead. I don't know. Maybe I should put I should put a coat of oil on those. No, it's okay because the spring will pick it up on that. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick install here, and I'll do that on camera. So let me get cracking here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll start with this. I'll start with this plunger portion. Put that spring in there. Put a little oil on that. Oil on that spring. And I do this when I change mainsprings most of the time anyway, when I do the firing pin. So about I usually do like every 1,500 to 1,200 rounds, I'll change so when I change this mainspring, I'll change this firing spring with it. Okay? Well, I don't want the gun slam firing and going on the range and nothing like that. So I've never had that happen. I don't want to find out what it's like to happen. So I go ahead and I change that spring out. When I change that spring, the main spring, I change that firing pin spring with it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead now. I'll go ahead and I'll do this extractor. So I'm going to put a little coat of oil on that extractor. It's probably going to be a way better extractor. So I go ahead and I push that down. That lip of that extractor goes past. Does it go past? No, it goes. I don't think it goes past. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna take that plunger out. Then I'll put the extractor in. Then I'll put the plunger back in. Should go like this. This fitment's required. Is fitment required for this? Do I need to fit this? Oh, I see, because it's a little bit of a... Oop, I don't want to pinch my glove off and get latex in that extractor, right? That's good. Okay, so there's no fitment required. It just kind of goes in there because it's a little bit of a spring effect. So it's kind of, yeah, it just slipped in right there. See it? See the extractor now right there in the where the ejection port would be. I see, so it's a little bit canted here. So what I probably will do is I'll probably just kind of... Is it canted? No, I think it's good. It's good. That's the way it should be. That's slightly canted. I think all this stuff kind of evens up when I put that slot piece in there. Okay, so I got that in. Already lubricated the plunger portion. goes in spring first. Alright, so what a mess. Well, anyway, I was playing around with this thing, trying to get it to fit, and what I wound up doing was grinding this off right here. Not very professional, like, granted. Maybe perhaps I took a little too much off, but now it's fitting against this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and try to put a little oil on this thing, and I'll fit it into the slide. And we'll see if I get a more favorable result with the install, because now I notice it was starting to want to accept that block back in. Let's see if we can get this to work with us. Okay, it's starting to come in there now. Maybe if I move this around a little bit. I can just press that down. So he wants to get in there now, more. Okay, now it goes in there. Okay. So I guess that was the trick, was to grind down that portion there a little bit. It accepted the block. I was doing this thing here where I was sticking a casing in there. Just kind of looking down in there, I could see the firing pin where the primer was punched. So okay, well, I'll go ahead and reassemble it and we'll see how it goes. Take this back out against my better judgment. Okay, so probably going to do a lot of editing on that, all right? A little bit of oil here for the thing. That plunger portion. This will be interesting to see if this plunger piece goes back in, but I decided, thinking, well, if I install it around that block, everything else should fall right into place. So everything should just fit together like a little puzzle here now. I always knew that people said that there's certain fitment parts with parts on 1911s. I'm glad I learned to work with that instead of working with the doing the removing material from that block. Just gonna go in there now. You're gonna give me grief too? Okay. Now for that block port, now for the firing pin. I tried all kinds of things when I was off camera. I was using these punches to move stuff around to see if I can get it to accept it. Finally, I went over to my 2x72 belt sander and removed that flat portion, and that might be the trick to it. Might leave a little meat up there. Like I say, I've never done this before, so some old Smiths watching me on there, they're probably just rolling around laughing or saying, geez, I'm going to turn the channel, this is a waste of time. But it's just me kind of stumbling through the dang thing. So what's going on with this now? Ah, there we go. And then I hit the plunger. At least it's the firing pin. Alright, well, I think that's it. If you look back here, do we see? I see responsiveness from the firing pin when I push the thing forward here. The punch. I push this. I have to scratch the firing pin. I see responsiveness. So, all right. Well, I'll do a quick reassemble off camera, and I'll eventually take it to the range and test fire it relatively soon, I think. Alrighty, guys. So. Here it is. That was a mess, wasn't it? You know, I could have gone on YouTube and found a YouTuber slash gunsmith that could have, you know, walked me through the whole process, and then I could have gone on and recapitulated it here. But I just decided, you know, I just had it. I don't know what it is. I just had the satisfaction of just kind of finding it myself. I don't know if I did it right. I don't know if, you know, I'm sure a real a real gunsmith would have like a fine set of stones that graduated down to a nice polish. I have a 2x72 belt sander. I do have access to not only rough grits, I have access to micron grits. I probably could have you know, shaped it a little bit more flatter to make it look a little more stock, but there it goes right there. Doesn't seem to have any interference with the new piece, so I can't complain about that. I might air this with footage of me shooting it and proving it, maybe not, I don't know. I have a new camera coming soon. It's a small 4K camera. I can take more places. Here's the busted extractor. There's the pieces here. It's a mess. Well, anyway, I'm pretty confident it's going to work. Okay, so I'm just glad to have it up and running, glad to have it cleaned. Decided to run a little bit of oil. Maybe that lubricant I think I was running a bilithium grease in there, and maybe just running plain oil might be a little bit better for it. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm willing to bet if I went and saw an actual gunsmith do it, they would have definitely a different approach. But I was able to do it. I was able to fit it. I worked everything kind of around fitting that block in at the back. And I figured once I got that in, it was good. And I was tempted to take a little off the block. I thought, no. I pulled it out. It fit. The block fit. There's something about this extractor. Then I realized, you know what? It seems like that little flat portion just kind of comes up a little bit too much. So I just started taking it down. Next thing you know, I was able to get it back together. And that's that. I'm just pretty stoked to have it done. I'm stoked to have kind of shared the journey with you guys. And, maybe one of these days I'll take an actual legit gunsmithing class and learn how to do stuff right. But I was able to kind of stumble through it. And now I'm going to get this gun running. I'm pretty sure it's going to work. I mean, I'm going to actually, go out and first opportunity I get this next weekend and go out and prove it. I can bet the range is closed now, but hopefully this weekend I can go out and run some rounds through it, make sure it works, confirm it, make sure it's extract. I mean, I'm pretty sure, as long as it ejects, right, pretty much. But I'm pretty sure it's going to work. I'm pretty confident it's not going to have any issues. That plunger piece is pretty good, I think. So. right. Well, I'll see you on the next one, guys. And yeah, that's right. Don't worry about the haters. Just let the haters worry about you. Okay? See you on the next one.